one-button maps, one-shot bosses, and do all of this on a budget. Well, if you want to see how to do all that, you've come to the right place. In the description is the Mobalytics guide for this, so please do check that out. I'm not going to be doing a dive through things like the passive tree or all of the gearing choices individually. I'll cover off some sort of broad concepts, baselines that we want to meet. If you want to see those parts in detail, then check it out on the guide. Don't forget to give it a favorite, it really helps. What we'll be talking about is sort of some of the tech and how this works, as well as a broad showcase of it doing all of the endgame content, basically. Tier 3 Arbiter, King of the Mists, Xesht, and a Tier 15 corrupted map that we just blast through just to show off its movement speed. If you do enjoy this video and do enjoy the guide, please do give the video a like. It really helps with the algorithm nonsense. The YouTube thing really likes it. And on that, let's start talking a bit about this build. Alright, so first off is actually how we're moving around maps, which is also our offense, and that's Tempest Flurry, and it does this. We can go for some time, haven't pressed the mana potion. If I do press the mana potion, stabilizes and comes back. As long as we're killing things, we're leeching mana, as well as getting mana on kill. So mana is really not a problem there. What are we running in it? We're running Crescendo 3. Final Strike is ancestrally boosted. It's a strike, so it will hit 2 additional enemies. It's the lightning bolt that comes down. Efficiency 2 for the 40% less cost. This is really important. Rapid Attack 2 for attack speed. Rage 3 for more attack speed at maximum rage. It's mostly just to generate the rage so that we do more damage with Falling Thunder. We generally lose that attack speed pretty fast in maps, right, as soon as we've hit things a few times, which takes us down to 11 attacks per second, which is about where this feels comfortable on the movement. Well, more is better, but this is comfortable to balance in all the damage and not have to mess around. Looking at and be able to one-shot. And the last one is Rigwold's Ferocity. This gives us more attack speed and weapon set 1. Yeah, we drop a bit of damage, but this is more about moving fast. What does this actually do for us? Well, this triggers Crackling Palm, which blinds everything, which gives us more crit chance, which is important for Falling Thunder, as well as Culling Strike, Maim, and Electrocute. Electrocute, I don't really think is necessary in here anymore. I was using it to charge up the bell at one point, but I think that support could actually be swapped. We're also running Charge Staff when it maps with Lightning Attunement, Innovate, Elemental Armament, and Prolonged Duration. This actually stays up for a whole minute with 6 power charges. It's pretty nice, but running around in maps, that's pretty much what we're using. If at any point we get into a bit of an issue, we can slam Falling Thunder to just 1 pop of rare. Looking at the rest of the skill gems and what they mean for our offense, Reaper's Invocation has Profane Ritual in it. We now just cast all 5 of these at once. It pretty much gives us 6 charges every time, with them having a 30% chance to grant an additional charge, 35% less skill effect duration, and there's 5 of them going off at once. So you've got more chance of getting 6 than not. And Boundless Energy, increasing our energy gain. We use this, fully charges up Falling Thunder. We can slam it for a screen-wide clear, but well, in a direction. Or we can use it to just power up Charge Staff with 1 button press, which is quite nice. Looking at what we would do for single target, this is where things go. Oh, we've got run Herald of Thunder as well and Herald of Ash. These do a bit of damage. Like they hurt things. It's nice. Especially if you use Falling Thunder, because the overkill damage all gets converted into Ignite by Herald of Ash, which works really, really well. Looking at single target, we actually have to run a gem switch. So I switch out Ghost Dance, but actually, you probably, if you're running single target, going to do something like Arbiter, King of the Mists, just switch out Charge Staff. You're not going to use Charge Staff anyway, and then that will reduce opportunity of fat fingering. But we switch out Charge Staff for Mantra of Destruction. And what we do is we hold down Tempest Flurry to generate charges, because this generates combo. We have Culmination in both Hand of Chola and Falling Thunder. What Culmination does... and sorry, and also in Hand of Chola we have Aelith's Chimes. What this does is, for every combo point, you have a 10% chance to generate a power charge. It can exceed 100%. So if you get to 60 charges, you have 600% chance to generate a power charge. Or you will generate 6 power charges in 1 hit. We have 11 attacks per second, with 45% chance to generate extra combo from the tree. So we generate our combo points in about 3.5-4 seconds. Press Hand of Chola, press Mantra of Destruction, giving us 68, actually 69% when we slot this in, because we slot it in with Chaos Mastery. 69% of the damage is Chaos. Then we hit them with Falling Thunder. Now, Falling Thunder also has Culmination in it, giving us 3% more damage per combo. This will have been gaining combo at the same time. So save up to about 60, 90 combo. You slam the boss. Got Pinpoint Critical in it, an Inevitable Critical. This is to make sure we're showing on sheet here at 87.07% crit, but this is where the lightning gloves come in handy. We've got distracted target, critical versus blinded for 80% more crit chance here. This guarantees that our Falling Thunder will crit every time, because that 87.07%, another 80% comes from those nodes, 100%. We've got Fist of War, Ancestral Boost every 14 seconds, but it's double, giving it 60% more damage and 50% increased area of effect. And we've also got Rage Forged, because we've got that Rage, and this gives us 35% more damage, which is really, really nice. That makes it one-shot bosses, as you saw in the intro, and as you will see a bit later. That's pretty much how the offense works. There's quite a bit of defense worked into here as well. We'll talk a little bit about the gear. I suppose there's a couple more things we should cover off on offense on the gear, right? So we don't have a weapon. We don't need to talk about that. But we are still an attack build. So flat damage to attacks on your rings, really, really good. Flat damage to attacks. And somewhere you're going to want fizz attack damage as mana. I'm going to kind of count this as an offense thing, right? Because otherwise your mana runs out. You need to be able to leech mana. That's really important. And you want +3 level of all melee skills on your neck at the moment. I think we might change that at some point. And for the belt, you want to go with one of the Darkness Enthroned. This is for the end game. There's cheaper variants in the build guide, by the way. Just don't click on end game, click on the others. So this will scale as though gloves, which means we can get a bunch more attack speed from it. Right, let's move on, talk about the defense. We're sitting at 62% evasion, combined about 3,800 life and energy shield. Managed to sneak in a bit of chaos resistance. This is something you'd want to be working on. Getting that higher is better. We're overstacked on cold, so there's obviously some things we can do there. Looking at the skills and how these contribute, G for skills, of course. Looking at how these contribute, we have got Crackling Palm, which is running with Blind and Maim, which I believe Maim slows enemies down, right? Yeah, slower movement. And Blind gives them less chance to hit, so works as a nice defensive layer. We've got Blasphemy running Temp Chains, but this is 5-socketed with Slow Potency, Magnified Area, Heightened Curse, and Focused Curse. And what this does, it means in 0.75 seconds, anything that comes within 5 meters of us, 4.8 meters, is slowed by 50%. This is very, very good. That's really the main defense. It's actually where most of our spirit is. 76 spirit is spent just on that. And then we have Ghost Dance. I found Ghost Dance to be working very, very well. It heals for 1,134, and you get a Shroud every 2.05 seconds. We move so fast that we're mainly getting like clipped by projectiles and things. This seems to ping the shield up much better than anything else I can do to get the shield up since Eternal Youth has gone. So that's really the main defense. It's a combination of Ghost Dance and Blasphemy. The two things keep you relatively safe when you're moving as fast as you are. Don't get me wrong. There's occasionally some odd, rippy moments, but we try to avoid those. Generally, standing in degens when you're trying to loot Abyss coffers. That's what I found is my #1 threat. Defensively, high evasion chest, flat energy shield. There's something interesting to be said here. Because we're moving with Tempest Flurry like this, we actually don't need movement speed on our boots. You can get some real bargains. This tier 2 triple res, tier 2, tier 1. These were 2 divines. No movement speed, right? You can pick things up almost as good for a divine, chaos, exalts, like seriously good stuff there. And on the helmet, on the neck, you want to allocate Subterfuge Mask as well. I suppose that segues us nicely, and I said I wasn't going to go over the tree, but we'll have a look at it. Certainly just a very, very high overview. So we've got Lead Me Through Grace. This is where we get our spirit from. Sunder My Enemies. This is to make sure that... oh god, the name. Falling Thunder. I keep thinking it's Thunder Slam. It's not. Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder ignores the enemy resistance because it's guaranteed to crit, and then we just grab the extra damage. On the tree, we're going out, grabbing some crit chance, grabbing the power charges, grabbing attack damage where we can, making use of these blind nodes. We're obviously gone Hollow Palm. We've come up to get the extra attack speed to make sure we can move as fast as we can with Tempest Flurry. That's sort of the main crux of the build, is this fast mapping there. Defensive layers, crit. These are some interesting new nodes here. Chakra of Rhythm is where we're getting our 45% chance to build additional combo per hit, which is nice for just stacking up these combo that give us all this damage quickly. And because we're actually spending more than 5 combo, we might as well take the 60% attack damage there that's there for Falling Thunder as well. Walker of the Wilds, another really interesting new keystone. That deals with mana leech, converts the fizz damage leech to be elemental damage. Most of our damage is lightning. We just leech our mana really, really well in single target and in maps. It's amazing. grabbing the crit diamond round here, up to the dexterity with enhanced reflexes and bestial skin. This is what's keeping us up at that nice 62% evasion rating. And then finally, coming around to grab the Winter Owl, which is actually why I've stacked up to intelligence and not dexterity, because I'd rather get that increased evasion, because we're actually getting something from that. It's actually dealt with an accuracy problem I had on the build, at the same time as giving us, what, 51% evasion? Yeah, 51% evasion. So that's a really nice node with some extra evasion and intelligence, or you can get extra accuracy if you need it. So, tree, not just nice and simple. There's no switches that actually work because of how we're working with the combo. I was looking at something with meditate, but it just was clunky and awful. And that is really the tree, the defenses, and the offenses. Stretch uniques, you're going to be looking at Thunderfist. This is quite expensive at the moment. Crackling Palm really is good for applying blind. You can just put blind in Quarterstaff Strike and hit a boss with Quarterstaff Strike to deal with it if you wanted to get something cheaper than Thunderfist, so would recommend that. This belt currently is really, really cheap with the glove sockets. The runes, however, are not. They are just what they are. They're expensive. They're the serious runes. And rings, again, you probably can pick up some bargains at the moment, but you really need to be, yeah, try and get some flat damage on them, but make sure your resistances are capped. Characters got kind of low health pool, so being capped on resistances is really important. Anyway, let's showcase this thing. Alright, so we've got the Realm Gate here. We're going to do a tier 3, which is tier 4, because you can't run tier 0 again. I don't know what happened to tier 4, it seems to have gone. But anyway, it's not there. We are going to swap in our Mantra of Destruction, single target, although we do have to run to Xesht, but this is a decent showcase of why Ghost Dance is kind of important. There's going to be a couple of moments, 1 or 2. So we go in, start it up, and then we're just off. Like, you just start blowing everything up. Visual clarity is fine enough. Stuff that is lightning resistant or crit resistant, crit and lightning resistant together can be particularly annoying. But stuff does go down. But as you can see, we're taking damage and that shield is not coming back. So we're sitting on about, and there it goes. So shield is popped. We've now got 1,557 life. And that's what we're sitting on. Shield has just started coming back. And it's gone again. And it's just staying gone. So you, even with 62% evasion, you know, you're going to get hit on. You're going to get hit occasionally. That will probably start to go down less and less as our damage comes up, right? Because things won't be there to hit us. But at the same time, right now, at about the investment that we've got, 20-25 divs, I suppose. Count the gloves, which you don't need. Otherwise, like 15. Most of that is in gems these days, support gems, skill gems. Then we can probably get away with the defense, but yeah, the shield is now finally fully back, but it's really, really unreliable without some sort of recharge. Eternal Youth used to be the answer, but without it, yeah, you need something else. They really don't like us recovering energy shield. They just don't want us to be tanky. That change, I think, would actually break the Juggernaut Invoker a bit. No, it probably wouldn't, actually. Anyway, so we nicely clear the map, just about. Oh, the breach. Yeah, you loot. All of the... Oh my god, what is it? What is it? What is it? It's a fixation of UX. Sorry, I already knew that. I already suffered that disappointment earlier this morning. I thought the game had actually given me a present. I was like, oh my god. Anyway, this is the boss. We have wings like him because we're his brother. We're brother Xesht. We're Chayula. We're not the acolyte of Chayula. We are Chayula, as you're about to see. So he gets a bit freaky-deaky with his hands. He's like, hey, you like fisting? I like fisting too. And I'm like, I like fisting that much. So go over there. Then we hit him a bit more. As you can see, the stacks are building up. He's dead. And yeah, that's really how you run Chayula. You just Chayula Xesht. You just smash him in the face. You run all the bosses like that. It's lovely. And we got 3 Exalted Orbs for our trouble. So next up, we'll go for King of the Mists on a tier 3, 4, whatever. Where's tier 4 gone? Why is everything lower? What am I? Anyway, That's the highest thing that shows. Maybe it's incompetence on my part, and someone's going to tell me I'm incompetent, but maybe I should Google it. For some reason, we've got purple lightning going on. It looks pretty cool. So we slam him once, get our power charges, slam him. Realise we haven't swapped to Cheula, so we do a little hot swap, an in-combat hot swap, and then we hope the wisps are good to us. Oh, the wisps are very good to us. Take a bit of a slow walk, make sure that mana's good. Little kingy's about to turn into a tree. He's about to get wood. Ha 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 ha. Please like and subscribe. As we dodge that, and then we spank him up a bit more, charge him up, press that, and then I went to 76. I should have gone to about 80, so I had to give him a little love tap at the end there, but it's King of the Mists, right? So easily love tapped, dodge a couple of abilities. Sinistral Annulment, 2.5 divs. Next up, maps. So, going to run a tier 15 corrupted map. As we can see, there are 6 things on that map, meaning there is probably a very real risk of death here. Not a problem for the #1 hardcore player in the world, of course. Not rocket surgery. So let's get into this. As you can see, we fly around the map as a whirling tornado of fiery lightning death, and everything just blows up. We have just charged our laser fists, becoming, in fact, a Protoss Zealot, and we are now playing StarCraft. Having a good time still, but certainly laser fists. We summon giant death red lasers from the sky. This is a finisher effect. I think it looks cool, but it covers up puddles and then I stand in them and die. But anything for... Style is plus 5% DPS, everyone knows this. Grab one of the worst supports in the game. Arakali, of course, being the vile goddess of lust, who's actually a giant spider, and people used to sacrifice themselves to have the spider sex or something. I don't. It's really gross, man. The Val are really weird. You should look up their lore. They are. I looked up their lore, and now I'm like, I think Path of Exile lore might actually be a thing. Anyway, everything's just blowing up, right? You just go from rare to rare to rare. There's 2 more rares over here. Oh, now we've got the Abyss. So what we're going to do here is, I don't want to stand in any degen puddles for very long, so I've come up with this thing where I just go up and down them and just keep trying to move around and hope for the best. It's got about an 80% success rate. What you can also do is just falling thunder the holes when they come out the holes, which I do sometimes. But there we go, Abyss done. Next, oh look, Coffer. Oh, Greater Regal Orb, we're rich. That's a strong box, we'll get that opened. It's got all of the good lines on it straight away, so we don't need to spend exalts. There's another fella over here. While they're spawning, we'll just go and say hello. Grab those. These guys will spawn, and that's it. Chest done. I don't notice. I think there's still more. Then I do notice and leave, embarrassed. Head hung low. So now we're on the hunt for the boss. We found him. It's Hyena Dude. We're up, and we just bonk. And that's that. That's mapping. You just fly around. Let's do hard mode Arbiter. So hard mode Arbiter is 3 divines for a run. They're a divine apiece. So here's the run from stream last night. Started off with not doing enough damage because I didn't charge up for long enough. So there's a pretty good showcase of the movement and how it works, even just as a build that's not being completely gamey and is doing the mechanics. We charge up, we get ready to hit. Also, you guys get double the farm. And I hope you have enjoyed this one, guys. This is also the outro. But yeah, it can do all of the content in the game. I don't know if it can do Sims yet. We're gonna do some work on Sims. But if you have enjoyed this one, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help. And let's say goodnight to our friends, the Arbiter of Ash. There you go. There you go. Ooh, ooh. Catch you in the next video.